veteran personality in the media and sports industries, passed away last night at the Carl Huschner Memorial Hospital in Belize City. Gerald Garbutt had suffered a stroke about a week ago and had since been hospitalized. Glenn Tillett, a media personality as well, spoke of his time spent around and working with Garbutt.
Gerald was a gregarious person, but an eminently practical person. I used to consider him like Mr. Fix-It, right? Very big-hearted, and he had a dedication to getting whatever it is he was doing done. You know, he was the kind of guy who would literally drive miles through all kind of weather if there was something he thought needed to be done. I think, I'm not sure, but I believe I first met Gerald or encountered him when I was a child. And I would go to Radio Belize with my parents. They used to do schools broadcasts, and at that time, Radio Belize was the only building that had an elevator. And I would go with them to play in the elevator. Uh, Through that, I met a lot of people from what your boss likes to call the golden age of radio, right? You know, Everett Wade, Seferino, and I later encountered Gerald when I started doing sports broadcasting with Manfred Atkins in the late 1970s. We consider him the technician extraordinaire when it came to outside broadcasts. I think he was a pioneer in that respect. I later worked with him at Creme Radio in the early 90s, and then again at Positive Vibes, a radio station he founded in the 90s after he left as the manager of Creme Radio. I considered Gerald an extraordinary personality. He was kind, he was generous, had a great sense of humor, but he was also very no-nonsense. He believed in getting his job done, but he would go to extraordinary lengths, not only to get his job done, but for his friends. He thought nothing of going out of his way to help a friend if needs be. And he was a great person in terms of media and sports, because he was somebody you could always go to, you could always talk with. And if he ever agreed to help you, that was like money in the bank. He wasn't a broadcaster. He was a technician, but I consider him more of a manager. He was the kind of person who could put all the parts together and get things done. If you had to get a broadcast on the air, Gerald would get it on the air for you, regardless of what. I remember I think it was the second Creme New Year's Day Classic, the way Gerald worked was like he would drive the entire route a day or two before and check everything that he could. He would go all the way. This was back in the old days of things like program lines and all this, right? And he would just go and check everything he could. And then, and then he'd come back and make sure that all the necessary equipment was working. And he wouldn't start out unless it was that way. If you were on that crew and you needed to get up at 4 o'clock, you tell Gerald, he'd make sure you get up, because that's the way he was, If he figured everybody needed to be fed, he'd feed them too. And during a broadcast, he had no compunction about feeding you whatever information he had or he knew or he discovered during the course of that broadcast. He took really immense pride in doing his work. And I think as such, he mentored a lot of people in the business, some of whom are still in broadcasting today.
While Garbutt was a no-nonsense person in his line of work, he did find time to do the leisure things like farming and fishing. Adriel Pelayo was one of his buddies he would take along on his leisure trips, either to the village to farm or out on the seas to fish.
I have been knowing him for some years too. Um, a humble man, and love a fishing and love a farm. Um, we mostly are social buddies. And whenever you want to go up by farm, come heal me. And we go up and we spend hours, we cook, we eat, dominoes, we go fishing, we plan fishing trip, and stuff like that, no? People know him as through cycling. Um, about 2 or 3 years, he was the president of the cycling association before he got ill and give it up, pass it on. And but for many, he helped a lot of people that he could. A humble and a straightforward guy. He have his farm in Biscayne, and he pushed me to purchase a land also in couple miles down before him, and he encouraged me to um, try to do something with the place. And we go up and he give me ideas, and that father figure, whatever I need, I need a truck, I need advice or how to do certain things where I never know. He was there for give me that support. According to his wife, he was at home, and he was in his bathroom while he had a stroke. So a wife walked in and find him on the floor. Well, not basically on the floor, but in a crouch position. So they rushed him to the hospital. But since he was in the hospital, he was in a semi-coma. So from then he wasn't responding much till the doctor say, prepare for the worst, till last night he passed away.
Garbutt leaves behind his wife of many years and a daughter who is a doctor in Canada, as well as a grandchild.